Welcome to Whiskey Wednesday. My name is Dean, and this is ENOE Whiskey. Welcome. Today I'll be tasting for you Southern Comfort Whiskey Liqueur. This is done through the Sazerac Company, based out of New Orleans. 35% alcohol by volume or 70 proof. They do make an 80 proof and also 100 proof whiskeys as well as the 70 I have here. This was done, actually originated by Martin Wilkes Heron in 1874 in New Orleans. And what he did was took some of the harsher whiskeys of the day, especially some of the cheaper stuff, especially from the prior to Prohibition time frame, and added fruits and spices to it to make it more palatable for people to enjoy. My only experience I've had with Southern Comfort was a good friend of mine who now lives in Washington. I went to school with him named Tom Canner. So Tom, if you're watching, here's to you, brother. We got a whole bottle of this stuff of the 40 proofs, the 45 proof stuff that you can buy in grocery stores here in Ohio. And we drank pretty much the whole bottle. Needless to say, drinking that sweet stuff back then caused for one not so good evening. So unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to look at it, that was my tasting of Southern Comfort at that time. Now that I have a little more of a mature palate and can kind of decipher if I actually like something or not versus I'm just trying to get hammered, we're going to give it a try again today. If I like this, then I'll actually go out and find a bottle of 100 proof and see what that's like. Or maybe find it at a restaurant and take a sip of it there. So I'm actually kind of excited about doing this just because of the fact it's been so many years. Before I even was 18, so we're going to look around probably the 1978 time frame. Give or take a bit. And we're going to see here. Nice coloration. When Sazerac bought this back, they went back to using whiskey as a base for it. Prior to Sazerac, it was owned by another company, and they kind of went away from the whiskey portion of it and used just regular clear, clean spirits like vodkas, gins, along that line to actually to make the main part of the drink, and then they added the flavors to get the profile they're looking for. Sazerac went back to whiskey, so we'll see if we can't pick out the whiskey notes in this. Right off the bat, tons and tons of orange and fruit. I smell no alcohol whatsoever, just all fruit. If you ever had Grand Marnier, you might get an idea of what Grand Marnier smells like. This is kind of along the same lines. Very rich though. No pepper notes in that gap. I am getting like almost no windows whatsoever, so this should be kind of silkier on the tongue, the back part of the palate, and we'll find out here. Interesting. You get a little tiny bit of the whiskey portion in the back part of the tongue, the whiskey flavor, but for the most part, I'm just getting lots of spice, lots of orange, raspberry, some chocolate notes, some chocolate in there. A little on the sweet side. Still not quite my cup of tea or my palate. I mean, I was willing to give it a try. Like I said, if I find a bottle of the 100 proof, I'll probably try some of that just because I want to see having a higher alcohol content, if that doesn't kind of mellow out some of the sweetness and make it a little more palatable. I do know they use this as the main ingredient in what's called an Alabama Slammer. I've never had one. I'm going to have to look that up and actually make an Alabama Slammer and see what that tastes like using this as the main ingredient. If you like what we do here at ENOE, please hit the like and subscribe button down at the bottom of the page. Love to hear from you. On Wednesday mornings, we do post a picture of the alcohol we're tasting that day. In this case, will be the Southern Comfort on Instagram. So please go to Instagram, find that picture, like it, and leave us a message. The best Scotch, bourbon, or whiskey that's out there is the one that you like to taste the way that you like to taste it. I personally, with this one here, I'm going to have to go, like I said, go out and maybe find some mixed drinks that are designed for this particular drink, this particular alcohol whiskey, and see what it tastes like using those. Me personally, this is not quite my cup of tea. A little too sweet for me. I like to have something a little more bite in it versus this. But with that in mind, you have a fantastic weekend. Cheers.